So at Magnox, we are a nuclear decommissioning company, having formerly had 10 nuclear power stations generating, which was part of our fleet, and in about the early 90s they started to come off the grid. We employ about 2,500 people, but we're also growing our business. So not only have we got the programme of decommissioning, we are also going to be taking on what we're calling future missions. So that's the EDF fleet of stations. We'll be looking to take on about 7 of them between about 2025 and 2035. So we're growing basically, which is a complete 180 of where we were about 5 years ago.
We're also now working rapidly and obviously working in a very popular field to try to attract talented people who have the ability to help us with our engineering, with our decommissioning, with the management of nuclear waste, and in an environmental and sustainable way as well.
We were previously doing performance management on paper forms, so there was like a lack of consistency really across the company on how people were doing that, what kind of targets they were setting. They were expected to do a start of year objective setting sort of review, and then an interim in the middle of the year, and then one at the end of the year looking sort of how they've done with those targets, but there was nothing really set in between.
We can actually see where our talent is, what our objectives are, and we can start to then leverage things like succession management, and we can also see where the gaps are too. It's bringing it all together, making it easier for people to connect, so for line manager to connect, even things like you can praise somebody else, you can give cross-functional feedback to individuals and to their line manager.
I really like the team objectives point. So actually I've been working with my manager, our HR director within the UK, to look at objectives as part of his lead team, and I've got some for my shared services lead team, and it's been really easy to just take and cascade those across. So it makes the whole process of objective setting way easier for absolutely everybody within the company.
You know, it's really important that people have their own ownership of their development and their performance, and this kind of allows them to be able to put that information in, take that ownership, and then work with their manager to refine it and to get support and feedback.
Since we've been using talent management at the beginning, which we kicked off at the beginning of April this year, we reckon we've saved an average of about 30 minutes per direct report across the business, which is 2,500 people by 30 minutes a couple of times a year is quite a significant saving.
It also is trying to drive that collaboration, that ownership for the individual, and really importantly that understanding of where their job fits into the organisational objectives, which was the reason for wanting to cascade those objectives down, and that is something we've seen in our engagement survey is important to people.
And it will make the finance department more efficient, because they won't have to do so much manual churning. So even if you talk about 100 people within finance that will be using this tool, if they save half an hour a month every month, then that's quite a significant saving. But the key thing from a management perspective is having that full visibility.
Connecting between HR and finance there means that one, we're on it in terms of the people development and all of those sorts of good things from an HR perspective, but also we're on it from a finance perspective too. So we're making sure we're being super efficient in managing our costs as carefully and closely as we can.
This is probably the first project that we've used adoption and change management, and Enbridge helped us with this. So it's really about ensuring it's great rolling out a new application or a new system to the business, but if you don't take people on the journey, it won't be adopted properly, and you don't get your return on investment as quickly as you would do if you do proper change management. So it's having learned from the project with Enbridge, that's something that we want to make sure that we embed in all of our major change programs going forward.